Hey, bro.
Hey man, how are you?
I'm good, man. You?
I am good. You on a vacation?
Something like that. Something like that.
I saw the pictures you posted. Uh, I saw
Yeah.
the baby and everything's like, nah, that doesn't seem like somebody's house.
Yeah, no, I just came here for the weekend. But it's been long not seeing the woman, so I have to come see her.
No, then let me not waste your time
Ah,
and keep
that's
you
fine.
away from the missus. I don't know where Dini is, so I guess she'll join us somewhere along the line
And
because Dinero
mhm.
is TUT showing her flames. Uh,
Oh,
like they are swamped with assignments and stuff like that. So
mhm.
we made apologies for today.
All right. No,
So
that's fine.
before we start, like with what I wanted us to talk about today,
Mm-hmm.
uh, since it's your last episode here for now,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
uh, I wanted to ask you because I'm gonna forget if I don't ask you this now.
Yeah,
Um, Therapy is a relatively expensive thing for the average black person in South Africa
that's
or
true.
Africa for that matter.
Mm.
So what I wanted to ask you is if I am poor and I feel like I need therapy,
Mm.
is there like uh something in the public health domain that caters for like the everyday person who might not necessarily be able to afford a psychologist, like the same way we have like public clinics and hospitals?
Mm.
Do we like psychologists that serve in that realm?
Uh, is it an answer? Is it a question I should answer now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Clinical psychologists are trained predominantly to work for our government hospitals. So when I was doing my first year masters, 2019, my practicals were done in a public hospital, mostly academic hospitals, your Mankweng Hospital, provincial hospitals. And then after that, you have to do your internship in a government. And then as well, after that, after you finish your masters, you have to also serve one final year. It's a community service year in a government hospital. So most of them, well, not most of them are private, but those you find are predominantly are in government, working for the government, and that's a free service that you get.
Okay, do you know perhaps like what the process is if someone like wants access to it? Because
Mm.
I once heard someone say, "Hore, um, if you want to go and like consult a clinical psychologist,
Mm.
like you have to go to your local clinic first, then they write you a letter, and only then can you go to the hospital to like
Mm.
have access to these services." Do you know perhaps
The process.
what the process is?
Yeah. So we had different kind of patients. We have those who come through referrals, be it maybe if it's a sexual abuse, that would be referred to by by the social worker or the teacher. Maybe the teacher realizes the student are passing with Sika Skolong. Maybe something could be happening. They want an IQ assessment. So that would be a referral patient. But then we have those who walk in. You can feel that I'm not fine, or I'm seeing things, or something is wrong with me emotionally. I can feel I'm not fine. It's a walk in, so
Yeah.
you go directly to the department. And then the first meeting you would have, usually we would call it a screening meeting. So we want to know what's happening, like why are you here, so that we can see whether you are a therapy patient or you are a assessment patient, like psychological assessment. Once you've made that differentiation, we give you a date to come
Mm.
back. If it's public, you have to go fetch a file, and then you then fetch a file and then go to the department. But usually the first day you just go straight to the department. Then after that
Mm.
you'll fetch a file at the second appointment when it's your real appointment date. then you'll fetch a file.
Okay, so what is the difference between you called it an assessment patient and a
Therapy.
what did you say? A therapy patient.
So
Yeah.
assessment patient would be maybe you are, let's say you are 7, maybe you are 16, you're in grade 10, you're not passing on. Okay, maybe you are 16, you are in grade 7, you've not been passing well. Now
Yeah.
maybe the teachers or your parents are wondering what's happening with this child. So we would assess to see whether your IQ level, does it suit you to be in that school space, like in that grade, in a mainstream education, or should we refer you rather to a special school? And then we would assess you using IQ assessments, different kind of assessments, and then make a referral from that point. Or you maybe your IQ is low and you want maybe SASA. Maybe we have to say that intellectually you are disabled. Then we can organize SASA for you. That's an assessment. A therapy patient, it's you wake up in the morning, you feel that, nah, I'm not fine. Like, I'm sad. I don't find pleasure in anything. I eat too much. I'm gaining weight. I'm sleeping a lot. It happens for continuously for 2 weeks. Then you might probably be depressed. Then you come, you tell us all those things. Then we give you a diagnosis of depression. Then we start the process of treatment, therapy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because for me, I feel like I want to go to therapy, like for the sake of maintaining my mental health. You know, I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like everybody should go to therapy on numerous occasions each year. You know, yeah, I think I think a lot of people are in a state where like they just know that something is wrong, but like they don't have the know-how to like decipher it and like properly, you know, group these things that like this is happening.
True.
I feel like this is because of this, and then this comes from this, and in order for me to become a healthier version of myself mentally, I need to do this. I think a lot of people just walk around knowing that they're not fine and like can't put their finger on it.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I think most people don't know that accessibility within the public health is there, although it's not at optimal state, because we still have towns without psychologists or some hospitals without psychologists. But this knowledge is not well known, and also the stigma around I'm seeing a psychologist. Oh, are you mad? Or are you crazy? What's happening with you? Whereas it's true, you can go to say that I'm going to see a psychologist, to maintain a good mental health, or for personal growth. Perhaps I feel that I'm a bit immature at some things. Perhaps I can go and for self-development. You can go for many things, not specifically because we have a problem.
Okay. So you can basically just go to your local hospital, walk in and ask for the psychology department and get started.
Yes, we do have a well, a few of them in Motomole. Yeah, we do have a few of them in Motomole.
Oh, okay. No, that's good to know. Hi, Dini.
Hi guys,
I didn't.
Johnny.
Yeah, we're all Johnny.
I didn't want to disturb because I don't know what you guys were on about, so I decided to just listen.
I was asking him about like the accessibility of therapists in South Africa and what the process is for who cannot necessarily afford a therapist and all that. It's not like the topic I wanted us to talk about, but like because it is his last day and like to just plug people in South Africa is in terms of what they need to do, like if they wanna get some therapy, you know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I already
But
have a question regarding that because we deal with certain stuff like that, people that need such stuff for
Mhm.
department. So I wanted to ask something.
Mm.
Is it
shoot,
is it mostly people like in interracial schools compared to public schools that come through to you guys to ask for help when it comes to assessments and screenings?
Um, n- Surprisingly, many were from your township schools. Many from township
Mm-hmm.
schools, because I don't know, maybe because you know the hospital is located in a township. Mangweng, Teflop is a township. Mangweng Hospital is located there. So the schools around would be the one that are sending children to us. Rarely have I seen one from a former Model C coming in and saying I need an assessment like that. Those usually who want SASA, they would be older Nyana people usually. So they would be out of school, but they'd also be from townships usually.
Okay, okay, I get
Mm.
you.
But then from those township schools, they would then the referral would say two special schools. Special school usually are those, most of them or some of them are mixed races, so they
Mm.
are probably in town or somewhere.
Because what I've realized about Model C schools is that they take their kids to different schools before they even ask for help regarding their state. Like they don't
Mm,
go through trainings or anything. They just take their kids to private school if something else doesn't work.
mm.
Instead of just coming forward and saying my kid needs help with one, two, three. So
That's
that's why I was asking. I just needed you to make that point.
Yeah, that's true. And actually going straight maybe to a psychologist for that assessment would save you that hassle, because we would then look, okay,
True.
is it an IQ problem or is it an emotional problem? I've had many who don't perform well at school, not because low IQ, but because there are emotional problems that are
Yeah.
affecting them. Then you'd find that their IQ is actually normal, but emotionally there's something going on.
yeah, also I think it's like kids learn different.
Mm,
Uh, I know my brother is a visual learner.
mm-hmm,
Like if he sees you do something, like it takes him like minutes to just like replicate what you did.
mm-hmm,
That's like how he learns.
yeah,
We are we are in a system that uh, essentially focuses on like how well you can retain like information you get from literacy. you know
mm, mm,
so it's like you have to like memorize these notes, do this, do that, and it's all like based on what you get in the textbook. So
that's
it
true.
Mm.
doesn't really make room for like different types of learning. So
Ye-
you have a lot of kids with like mad potential and skills
mhm,
who go around like thinking that like they are not smart
mm, mm.
because of like how one dimensional our system is.
Hmm. That's true. That's true. Um, yeah, that's true. I think as well. What we've also seen is that um, there used to be. I don't know. Maybe during your time, Paul, when you were
Mm.
at war school, whether you were once assessed. I think in grade 9 before you choose subjects. Have you ever taken such an assessment?
I did, but like I was smart,
Mm,
so
Mm.
I knew how to manipulate that system. Like I knew that like for me to get like because it's a computer program, so I
mm,
know what it like if I click on these answers, I am steering them in this direction. In hindsight, it's like, yeah, I didn't do myself any justice because like I knew where my strength lied.
mm, mm.
But like just like I just didn't want to do those things. I
Okay.
knew like I would body the commercial subjects.
Mm-hmm.
That those are my strengths, but like I ended up going with civil engineering, electrical engineering,
Mm-hmm.
and technical drawing, and then uh, till this day I can't tell you what I learned in those classrooms.
Yeah.
Like just wanting to go where all your friends are going, like when you're young.
Yeah.
Nobody really tells you, or like, yeah, you know what, like this might just have an impact on like your 20s in a way you can't imagine, and set you back like 2-3 years, because now you have to do this and do that to get back on the right track. But
True.
like in general, like the moment when we got that assessment test, I could already see, or oh, okay, like uh if I want this to say this, all I have to do is do this, you know.
Yes. Yes.
So yeah, but
Mm.
I think like if you are truly honest with yourself during those assessments,
Yes.
they will get you to where you need to get to be,
To be. That's
you know.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, so like yeah, I just wasn't honest. I just manipulated it to where I wanted it to go, and
Mm, mm. I think, yeah, those assessments, or those kinds of assessments, they're very important, especially for anyone who's about. I think they would be very important for anyone who's at that stage, so that you actually know precisely what type of person you are and which careers really would suit you, so that you don't waste your
But
time.
I think those assessments, like sometimes for NA specifically,
Mm,
they made people put me on this pedestal that I hated.
mm-hmm,
Like I just needed to dim my light. They made it so bright. I needed it to be dimmed down. So those assessments for me, they were somewhat ish. They're just too hectic for my liking.
in what way?
Because from let me just say in from grade 1 until grade 7,
Mm-hmm,
I was made to read different books compared to people that I was in class with,
mm-hmm,
and explain those books
mm-hmm.
and just take everybody through those. And then now they had this idea of me that, oh, she is probably smarter than 1, 2, 3, and they put you on that pedestal that you are just even afraid to fail. They don't
Yeah.
leave room for you to fail or fall off something. They put you on something else that you don't want. And yeah, I think that put me in some kind of state that I didn't like.
Yeah. I think yeah, those are kind of the pressures you get when you're in that situation where you know you are afraid to fail because you are being put on that pedestal.
I think
Yeah.
yeah, I totally agree with you, because like I think even now there's still that pressure on you, like uh but you were so bright in school, like we are expecting you to be like this person by now, you know.
Mm.
Mm.
It's like,
Like they
you
need
know,
to
like
to break on it. It's just too much. It's too much.
Mm.
it is,
Some
and it's like, you know what, like there's so many things that I know I'm good at, but like there's zero passion there, you know.
Mm.
Like kill accounting with my eyes closed without even studying.
Mm.
But you know, like I have I have zero passion for it. I know if I became a accountant or anything along those lines, I would be bored to death, you
Mm.
know?
Mm.
mm,
So yeah, I think they help, and the nice thing about them is like they offer you like more than just like one alternative.
Yeah, yeah.
mm,
I think we it gets a bit like broken is in the instance where once you've made your choice, like then it becomes one dimensional. You like there's no room to really explore all the other options that like given to you on the assessment. It's like these are your options, like okay, pick one, and then it's like, you know, you can't go 6 months in be like, I can do it. It's not fun,
Mm.
you know,
Mm.
like jump for something else. And I think like that's where like life differs for black and white people, because like I think white people get to experiment in their 20s and be like, I don't like this, let me try this, I don't like this, I don't like this, because like they have the financial stability, or like, you know,
Yes.
they have that bit of security that lets them like experiment with life for them to find their passion and what they want to do. So with black people, it's like from the get go, like we don't have money to waste. So like you can't afford to mess up this opportunity because like this 4 years, you're coming after that, and like you need to have found a job by then, and we're relying on you to help us put him through varsity. So like I think they like it's a broader discussion than just like the assessments when it comes to that. It's like there's so much more that goes into that, like when you're a black person, than just like it being like, okay, these are your options.
Yes, that's
Like,
true.
yeah, they tell us or like these are your options, but like do we have the money to explore like all those options and to get to a place where we don't,
We don't. It's true. It's true. We don't.
True.
Yeah. So yeah, it's tricky because at some point like there has to be someone that's just like selfish with themselves in order to break the cycle in like
That's true.
your family
That's true.
and be like, yeah, I have the foresight to like not want to like have this thing repeat itself because now you having to do something for them immediately, then your kids have to do the same for you. So like no one ever gets to do something because they want to do it. But if it might seem selfish at first, like down the line, you've done everyone a favor. You know,
True.
you've done everyone in the past and for future generations a favor.
That's true.
Because now everyone literally now has their lives in their own hands. Like you get to do whatever you want now with no pressure of, oh, I have to do this back home, or I have to do this for my mom, or I have to do this for my brother, or whatnot.
Yes, yes, that's true.
Mm.
That's true.
But yeah, I think it's a very good and interesting subject.
It is.
We need to come and revisit this again.
Yes, I support that. I support that.
So, to end our Matters of the Heart series today, I am so glad we have a female here today because, yeah.
We've been. No, it's not my fault. Hey, a lot has been happening this month.
Yeah, no, it's life. Life happens to us all. So
Honestly, it does.
it is. But yeah, we held it down last week.
Yeah, we did.
We had a good podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, my phone died like 2 minutes after I got in. It just died.
Yeah.
What happened? I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know.
Tini,
Hi, Paul.
Lerking, do you think you are able to objectively assess?
Two?
Do you think you are objectively able to discuss being unfaithful? Like, not when it's like concerning you, but like just concerning the topic of being unfaithful or cheating in general, having a conversation around it. Do you think women are able to discuss it objectively, especially in an instance where it has happened to you, or like where it has happened to so many females? Do you think like they are able to like have an objective discussion from it, Or is everything you're going to say gonna be based on your feelings and like being triggered? Do
Yeah.
you think really? I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
think,
you are.
well, me, for me,
No, and it's
no,
not just you. It's not just you. I think most females, like when that subject comes up,
it
like
just has to do with
usually
our feelings, right?
it's triggering for a lot of females. So I think everything that comes out of their mouths, if that instance is in part like uh feelings they never got to express. I've never
Well,
met I've never met a female who can objectively discuss like the matter of being unfaithful.
you know why, Paul? Ne? You know why? Because we've been through a lot. That's why. You all have put us through a lot. That's why we cannot just be objective about it. But there are females that can do that.
But you are not one of them.
I'm definitely not one of them
No, no,
because
no, no.
I've been
We have
surrounded. No, you know why? I've been surrounded by a whole lot of women that have been cheated on, and I
we have
myself
heard,
am one of those women. So
I know,
it it triggers something else.
but now here's the
I can
thing.
try, but at the end of the day, it ends up kind of like just going back to my field.
Listen, I know that, but here's the thing. And like this is the one thing that like I know it hurts, um, or it triggers people.
True.
But I refuse to believe that like there are people who do anything for the fuck of it, you know,
Mm,
whether it's cheating or anything. I always believe like there is an emotional or psychological reason behind every action that any human might do, and like they themselves might not be aware of it.
Mm.
But in most conversations I've had with females, I've seen women hold on to this notion that like men will just be men and men cheat,
Mm-hmm.
you
mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah.
And you see, that's my point. That's my point. There we go again. But like,
No,
I, I,
you know what the reason
I,
is? What the reason is, ne? The reason behind men cheating is just stupid because they don't tell us why they do that.
but if
So
someone doesn't know why
you,
they
you
do
can
something, they
listen.
can't tell.
You cannot,
If
as a
someone,
man, say that I'm cheating, but it's not emotionally attached. It's not emotional attachment to that person. But you are cheating. What are you trying to say?
you see, you're going off topic now and like going on the emotional roller coaster.
Okay,
You're not
stop.
listening. You're not
Usa.
listening.
Let me just
What I'm
Usa
saying,
then.
what I'm saying is, you know, like Tho- those that you just mentioned are like the lies and excuses that they tell you. I get.
Yeah.
I am saying that there is for every human action, even including this, I believe there to be a psychological reason or emotional reason that like even this person might not be aware of.
Mm,
For instance, if I Karen, let's use a car as an example. I get. We see cars on the road every day, but to someone who's not like maybe a mechanical engineer, they might not know like what happens why is the car going forward or why is it reversing, like the inner mechanics of what makes a car a
Mm.
car. So in the same way, I feel like people who are unfaithful might have that same thing.
Mm.
And me being me, I went and like had like a deeper thought And I think I've sort of found one of like these reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason I started by asking you that, Dini, whether you are able to objectively look at this, was because I'm gonna tell you what I think,
Okay.
and then I don't want you to give me the typical female response, which is usually like just that's bullshit, And
Yeah.
I am not one to, because I can't say, like, I acknowledge that you are in your fields, and like when someone is in their fields about something, they don't want to think rationally about it. Because I
Okay.
think at that present moment, it's like you hurt me, and as long as like that's in play, uh, nothing else matters to the person. Until So here's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I think from what I've seen in my assessment of
Mm.
me and other men, nay, I think uh, the highest place of approval that men find, or the highest form of approval that men can find, is from a female, again.
Mm-hmm.
And I think um, how men interpret approval is uh, not all men, but I think like there's
Some.
a huge chunk,
Mm-hmm.
probably like 90% of us, that like interpret sex as approval. But um, like in anything, like even with love, you know, when you haven't figured out whether it's something that needs to be self-sustained,
Mm.
you are always going to need like to fill up on it.
Mm.
So I think a lot of people run around looking for that approval, and like as soon as it it seems like it's lessons or whatnot,
Mm.
you know, they need to fill up on it again,
Mm-hmm.
and it just becomes like this person who's on like some sort of hamster wheel.
Mm.
That's what I think. Like I think like that's just one of the reasons. I don't know.
It's an interesting one. I think it could be one of the reasons why one would engage in that behavior. Um, very plausible, very plausible. I think it's one that we can consider, that one is continuously looking for this thing when it feels like it's drying out. Yeah, okay, let me now go on that one so that I can keep refilling this approval.
Because you need to keep like feeling like good about yourself, or like that, like you have self-esteem. And if like in your mind your self-esteem is linked to
Mm,
what women think about
yeah.
you, and in your mind what women think about you, like when they approve of
Mm,
you, it's usually like when they sleep with you. I think like it's gonna be like a thing.
mm. It's true. It's true.
Give it to me, Dini. Tell me how much trash I'm talking right now.
It's not
It's a,
trash.
it's
It's
a
not
working theory. It's a
totally
working
trash,
theory.
but
Mm.
yeah.
So the reason
It's
why I
getting
think
there, I
the
guess.
reason why I think the theory is actually could actually work is
It's
because
getting
I've
there.
kind of seen it in the opposite gender, you know, when 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 one would say, I engaged in this simply because I felt as if you were not doing this, you know. So once they felt like that thing was fading, they went to look for another thing to replace this that felt as if it was fading. So that's the reason why I think your theory could actually be true.
Yeah, I think we see it in the Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith saga as well. There was a part where Jada said, "I needed to feel good about myself again." You know, she said that, like, I needed to feel good about myself again, and so she did what she did. So
Well, I think at the end of the day, it's just an individual's choice. You make that
but
choice.
choice
You choose that, you know
choice
what, I'm gonna
choice
do
is
this.
intricate,
It's a
because
choice,
remember
actually.
now, if when you're saying that, like, to this person, in their own twisted way, like, they are choosing their own, like, they choosing themselves in terms of, like, they need to feel good about themselves. So if you're going to, like, just chop it down to choice, then, like, in my like, if we're working off of this theory, then I'm gonna say, like, okay, then, like, they made the right choice, because, like, no, like, it sounds crazy, but, like,
Yes.
you know, you need to feel good about yourself, you know. So, but this is
You know what my problem is with that choice, ne? With that choice to cheat, is that why don't you go to that person that makes you feel good about yourself instead of you going back and forth to two
you
individuals?
know
Why don't you just stick to
you
that
know
one that makes you feel good about
you
yourself?
know
Leave me
if
alone
you can,
and go there.
I just missed
That's not my name.
I just missed
That's not
because
even my name.
he was gonna say something crazy right now. So no, I think um there's I think everyone, it's tricky, like, when you know what you have in someone, you know. Like, I think everyone needs, like, that consistent someone, you know. Like, I know that way, like, I'm gonna get this from Dean, you know. Everybody needs that in their lives. But
True.
when that consistency now can't give you, like, that feel good effect on Talwai, there's no way this person is going to be honest with you, because, like, they need to
Mm,
feel good about themselves, but, like, they are well aware of what they have in you, you know. They are well aware of, like, who you are and what you bring to the table, you know. So I think with a lot of people, it's like we need to, not even we, I think I don't even know how they need, who needs to teach them this. Maybe it's like upbringing or, like, societal norms that need to change. But people, I think it all gets back to what we were speaking about, like, when we were talking about, like, the age where, like, people start dating, you know, and being like, uh no one is
mm,
really, like, taught how to get to know themselves, you know. Who am I? What do I enjoy? What do I love? And all those things. Because I think, like, in the knowledge of self, this person will know, like, how to bring out the feel good effect and feel worthy and feel enough, you know, as a person on their own. But
mm,
I don't think we have that as people, you know. I don't think uh I think a great deal of us, like, never get taught that. We just go, like, from being in your, like, being a toddler and a teen, and then into being a teen, and, like, then it's like this world where like dating is so glamorized, and like everything you see on TV is about like
Mm.
pairs, almost like a man and woman have to be together, you know. There's not really any content that suggests that a person could be enough on their own, or shows a person how like they could love themselves and enjoy their own company and all these things. So like when you factorize all these things, I'm just saying what I could see how people find themselves in this cycle where they are unfaithful and like where women would be like, but fam, why do you keep on doing this thing? I've given you chances, and then like the woman calls him crazy for not knowing why he keeps doing it. For me, you're not crazy. Like you really don't know. I'm just saying, like it's possible for people to really not know. That's all I'm saying. This is by no way me trying to invalidate like women's feelings on like this. I'm not. I'm not. And
You
that's
are. You so are. But then like why can't people speak up?
up.
Okay, fine. I get that what you're saying is they don't understand what they're
What are you
going
gonna
through, but
speak
why can't
up
you speak
about?
up? Why can't you talk? Why go outside and do something that you can do? Why don't you talk to me and
Because
say,
they
yo,
like
I don't
I
feel
just said
this
it.
and this and this.
They don't know that they're feeling this or like they're lacking this.
Then leave me alone and go to that other person. Don't fuck up my life.
Stop saying
It's
that.
that
If
easy. If you
something
can't
has
speak,
been
if you don't
happening
understand it, then
from
leave.
mad years, even everything you read in your Bible, there is evidence of like these people not being able to curtail this thing. You can't say it's that easy when the pattern shows.
Hence I'm saying at the end of the day, it's a choice. It's a person's choice. You make that choice.
It's
You
a
choose that
choice.
I'm gonna do this.
It's a choice, but like,
It's a choice. It's a
have you
choice
never
that you
made?
make.
Have you never made? Have you never made a choice
You
and
do
not
know what
understood exactly why you made that
you
choice?
I'm super rational,
So
so
it's a
and I'm
yes or
very
no
paranoid, so
question.
I don't know. I can't recall. I can't recall. I can't say yes or no.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if something has been happening for mad long and you found it, and the people you found it here, then we can't just like uh boil it down to like something that is on the surface and say, well, like this is a surface matter, and like men just cheat because that's their nature. And if men just cheat because it's their nature, then what are you mad about? Because if it's their nature, then it's not something they can change. So then the choice is yours whether you're gonna live with this thing or live
Oh,
without it. So I still don't get.
can I just ask this?
Yeah,
Ne? Be honest. Be totally honest about this, because that's gonna make me
yeah,
answer your question or just get on to the next point. Does every man
no,
cheat? No,
yes.
right? Not every man cheats. I get.
No, 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 no.
So
Don't do that.
that
Don't do
that
that. Don't do
clears
that.
my point. It's a choice that a man makes to cheat. You take
Do
a
that. Don't
you
do
make
that.
that
Don't do
choice.
that.
You
Because
take that
not
decision. Well, I'm gonna
everybody
do this
has the
bullshit.
same state of mind. Not everybody, like me saying where a lot of people aren't able to like uh psychoanalyze themselves, or the majority of us, does not mean where they are not people who are able to do it. And some people are just like, it's a gift. You are born with like everything that we have to struggle so hard for, self-love. And I have a friend that's like that. Like I have to struggle for confidence and self-love and all this shit. And he's just there walking around like he owns the world. Like we are not all the same. So you can't exactly use that scenario.
I'm gonna use exactly that scenario. But then listen to all the cheaters. If you want to cheat, leave people that are loyal to you alone. Just go out there and don't commit yourself to anybody. Just cheat. Date everyone. Don't commit yourself to one person and say you are my girlfriend. It's that simple. Don't make life difficult, because now we're gonna go around and around and say that it's man's nature to
That's not what I
cheat or
said.
whatnot. That's what I'm saying. I know that's
Okay,
not what
so
you
then
said.
let's
It's
flip
what
it if
I'm
you're gonna
saying.
be like that. Is like we hamper on like, oh, men cheat. No. And I have another theory
Mhm.
on that. Like, women always keep like, they have this thing where they pride themselves in not being caught. And I have another theory on that thing, on like, oh, men are so stupid when they're cheating.
Mhm.
No, no, they're not.
Mm.
Sometimes, a lot of times, that nigga wanted to be caught because he wants to get out. It's not that you that smart. That nigga wanted you to
Uh,
know. So women, get over it. Get over that thing that he's like, no, he's just so much smarter than you and all that. But anyway, that was like off point. To get
Mm.
back on it, like, let's flip this cheating thing and hone it on the females then. If you going to if you going to like say that,
Okay.
uh wait, before that, Dean, what do you think is the ratio of females to males that cheat?
Females to males that cheat. Mm, I can say
Hmm?
maybe 4 to 6. 4/10. No, I don't know. It's equal. It's equal. I think women cheat equally to men. There are
I
women that
like
are
how you
female
said
cheaters
equal to.
like men. So
So if
I think
it's
it's just
equal
equal.
to, then I want to know like why so much emphasis is just being put on the one group and not just saying what it like. As humans in relationships in general, we just tend to do shitty things to each other.
I think when it comes to men, they do it openly compared to women.
That's what
Like
I
they make
just
sure
said.
that you see
That's what
them
I
and then
just
they make
said.
sure
Like,
that you know.
that's his
And
way of
women
breaking
do
up
it
with you or telling you to pull your socks
secretly.
up.
Yeah, but then either way, whether you are male or female, to me, if you're gonna cheat, you're just being stupid. Why don't you leave that person and then do whatever you wanna do with
But
whoever that it is that satisfies you?
but but do you not
For
see
me,
your
it's just
refusal
they're
to
the same.
acknowledge that like this is not a surface problem?
Mm.
If this is happening on both sides for the longest of time, for longer than me and you have been alive, don't you think that something in you has to acknowledge that, okay, this is not like a black and white
Mhm.
issue, and that I am reacting to this based on my own experiences? And here's the thing about hurt, I think. I posted it earlier on. For me, my definition of hurt is
Mm-hmm.
when another person's actions reveal to you things about
Mm.
yourself that you didn't want to face. I think what you feel when you've been hurt is not like a direct result of what the person did, but like it just brings to the surface what you've always felt about yourself.
Oh, well, maybe you're right.
For me,
I
for
can't
me,
say
if
you are
if if
totally
if
right.
someone
Maybe
makes
you
you
are
feel
partially right
unwanted
about
or
that.
worthless, I think you've always felt that on some a subconscious level. I think they just brought to the
Mm-hmm.
surface what was always there. I think like a whole person has the ability to look beyond and be like, it's not easy. Like, this all sounds easy, by the way, in theory, and it's not. Because when shit happens to you, there's no way where you're going to look to the other side and be like, like, I wonder what's broken in this person that they would do this to me.
Mhm.
You know, it's not that easy. It's never
Mhm.
that easy. But Doc, help me out here. Is there like some merit to me saying that hurt is just something that is revealed that has been lurking in our subconscious?
It can be. Yeah, I think that's all I can say. I don't want to dive into being personal, but I think it's one thing that I've also learned through an interaction I've had with a friend, that he said something and then it kind of hit, and I actually felt that this has been true. He's just revealed what has always been true. So that's why I do agree with that.
Yeah, and I think like there's even like in like the insecure people who are always like looking for like the cheat, like the confirmation that you are being unfaithful, you know. For me, it's like they want to find confirmation of like not as much. It's not as much about like you are being unfaithful, but it's like they want to find confirmation that I am not good enough. It's like just go ahead and say it already that
That's
I'm
true.
not good enough
Yeah.
more than anything, you know. So that's why I'm just saying that usually for me, like the process, like if something hurt me, it's like, why does this hurt me, you know? And then okay, like because I think hurt encapsulates so many things, you know. I think hurt is like the main heading, and beneath it you can find pain, and you know you can find beneath pain like everything that brings
Yes.
you pain and all that. Because I think a lot of what we call emotions are like just a heading to like other something.
Yes. That's true.
So um even with hurt, I generally try to understand why something hurts me, and like try to get to the
Of
root
that.
cause of that,
Yes.
you know. And then I think like once I'm able to deal with that in isolation, um, the other person's actions they still unjustified, but like they don't matter as much anymore, you know, because like you did why you did that for your own reasons, you know, and like that's on you. That's something you need to go work on. And while you did that and like it affected me in this way, it just showed me that like I need to go and work on this and this and
True.
this
That's
uh,
actually
inside of
very profound.
myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
saying what I am saying that uh, women's feelings are invalid. No, I'm not saying that they're invalid because um, you can never invalidate like what someone
True.
is feeling. You feeling what you feel, you know, and like I can't tell you what it's wrong to feel like this way, you know. But we also need to recognize that um, you can only see as far as whatever you're feeling. Um, a friend of mine once gave me this profound line and said, um, "We don't see the world as it is, but as we are." So whatever you're looking at it through the lens of your emotional
Yes.
state. You know, if you're angry, you're looking at the world uh, through an angry lens. You know, and like when you are loved, everything in the world looks beautiful. You know, you notice the blue sky, like you know, even things that normally agitate you, like they don't bother you that much. You know, because your lens has changed. You know, so we need to get to a place where we look at this when like through more than just the lens that we've been
That's
looking at
true.
it with.
That's true. Mm. Um.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That,
Can I
like,
just draw on something? Um, so well, Dini has
Okay,
been saying
Paul.
that cheating is a choice, right? And Paul has been arguing that there could be something in the unconscious, like deep down, right? The reality is that those views are correct. To
Yeah.
some point, we do make these choices, but the reality is that um, we might not at some point understand why we actually make a choice to actually go out and say, I'm going to cheat. And perhaps if we look much deeper, it might be that, oh, there's this void I'm trying to fill. So by me going from one girl to the next girl, I'm actually trying to fill this void. So I go to this one, perhaps I don't find it. Go to the next one, I don't find it. Or from one girl I find something, on another one I find something. And all these girls perhaps they're filling several voids that I've been having, and they might stem from my maybe abusive or traumatic childhood. So I just wanted to pinpoint that both your views are actually right.
yeah, it's yeah. I agree. Like,
Okay.
it's everybody can be right. Like, that is a possibility. Contrary to what the world believes, like, it's possible for two things to be right at the same
Mm,
time.
To like people,
mm.
like you just said that people cheat maybe to try and fill voids and whatnot, ne? What I was saying is,
Mm.
at least don't commit to one person because now you're gonna hurt that person.
But
Keep dating. Don't get into a relationship until you figure yourself out. Just keep going from one person to the next. That's fine. Don't commit to one person and say,
Dini, have
this
you
is
been
my girl
hurt
or
by a
this
guy?
is my
Perhaps
guy.
have you
That's
maybe
just
been a victim?
messed
And,
up.
and, and I think rather
I have been
um,
in such a
this
situation.
maybe shows that
Yeah.
there is something wrong at the psych level, that perhaps these guys need help. Maybe it's a more of, what can we do for them not to do these things? What is wrong? You know, because if they just go around, girls will catch feelings. I mean, someone will catch feelings and someone will get hurt along the way. Even if you start by saying, oh, no feelings should be involved, one will catch
Yeah.
feelings.
Um, and like, in reply to what Dini
Mm,
just said, if we are going off of like the theory or the basis that like these people on an emotional and psychological level are like searching, or like not complete, then remember, or like it, these people are basically subconsciously looking for someone to save them,
mm,
and like the moment that this person feels like Dini can save me, uh, obviously they're not like, they're not just going to like keep things on like a surface level,
mm, mm,
it's like she can save me, so I'm gonna hold
mm,
on to her,
mm,
and then remember her, like, remember, like he said, like the shortcomings can be on multiple levels, so he might just think that like you can save him, and then when he's with you realize that like, yeah, I feel like she saved me, but like there's still something,
mm,
you know there's exactly, because
Smack
like we
down.
said, it's something that like
Mm.
needs to be constantly be fed if it's not coming
mm,
from yourself, you know so there's no way this person is just going to let you be,
mm,
because like they do feel like to a certain level they have like found what they need in you,
mm, mm,
you know but humans being humans, if like you are 80% of what they feel like, they're still gonna go in search for like that
that's
20%,
true.
because the mind tends to convince you that like the little bit that you do not have is more important like than the 80% that you do have. You know, oh, like you need this. Without it, like it's not complete. You know. So, but then it's like I said, not everyone has the ability or the gift to like, think to that extent. I think it's rare even,
It is indeed. It is.
So yeah, I think what must happen is like when we raise our kids, and like we must put more emphasis on like helping them find who they are, instead of like pushing them towards like molding them to be something for someone else, because that's basically what it is. Like men are being molded to be providers and protectors and all these things, while women are being molded to be pillars and homemakers, you know. So yeah. So when you like when you tell people that like your value is locked up in like what you are going to be for someone else one day, and like they get to this place and like they still don't feel like valuable, or enough, then like society is going to be what society is.
Yes.
So I think there's so much that needs to change, but like obviously because like you are just one person or you're a drop in an ocean, you can't do that for everybody, but like at least you can do that for your kid, like like stories like Snow White and Cinderella, where there's always like a knight, a knight in shining armor coming to save them. Like, don't make them watch that shit. Help them with content that like want them to be like everything they can be as a woman. Like even the books you help them read, like the books you have them read, and how you raise them. Don't be that like, oh, you can't cook. What kind of a wife are you gonna be? Type of mother or aunt or whatnot. So you can't do everything for everyone, but like you can do what you can for the ones your circle closest to you. And then like that's how you raise someone who at the end of the day are going to value themselves and love themselves, and you give what you are. So everything that women are demanding from men and not getting, well, they don't have it.
True.
Right? And vice versa, I guess, since like you said that like you feel like women and men both like are unfaithful on an equal level. The other party is just bad at doing it, So yeah, for me, I just feel like that's the gist of it. I think that's a wrap on our Matters of the Heart series. It was a good one. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And
I did also enjoy it.
Yeah.
I won't lie.
I definitely enjoyed having you here and your insight. It's been tons of fun, and yeah, we definitely have not heard the last of you. We're gonna call on you. Yeah, he's our personal therapist,
He's our personal doctor.
Y'all need to give me my flowers for the guest I've brought on this show this year. I've been killing it.
Thank you, Vanani, for showing up and showing off.
Well,
I mean, you held it down for the past 2 shows, and we were not around.
So
Me and Diego were not around.
he's our doctor, fill in the making,
Paulina, you get your rose. Don't worry.
Hell was over.
Yeah, a black one, a black rose.
Hell will freeze over. Big
Hey.
cloud.
No,
I'll
not
definitely hear
a
from him.
chance. When I wait and see, when I you'll hear
Yeah,
from
you will
Paul
you
what
will
we
hear
did.
how they put me down and
Yeah,
demoralize. Yeah, but
Not even.
yeah, man,
Not
we
at
will
all.
definitely see you on the flip
yeah,
side. A
definitely.
a little birdie tells me we are on the same
Hmm.
project, Pollywood's project.
Oh,
So
oh,
I
yes,
guess,
yes, yes.
yeah, I guess me and you, our paths are gonna be crossing on
Multiple levels.
a lot of
Yes,
levels.
yes, indeed,
Yeah.
indeed.
So, man, thank you for taking the time to be
It's a
here
pleasure.
with us. We really appreciate
It's a
you.
pleasure. It's a pleasure.
And uh, on behalf of me and the
Thank
crew,
you.
tell
Thank
the
you.
missus that we thank her for borrowing you to us for an hour. This guy's on vacation and he still made it to the pod. What's your excuse, please? What's your excuse?
Ooh,
Yeah, like
he's way better than I
anyway,
was, yo.
she's on vacation. Let me let her be. And then this guy shows up on vacation. I'm like, I'm not letting it slide. Commit, commitment.
Um, yeah, yeah. I'll tell her. I'll tell her. Well, she's listening, but I'll tell her.
All right, that's it,
All right.
guys. Thank you and
All
good
right.
night.